Yo, what's up, man? Yo, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? How y'all feeling? That's still playing? Stop playing. Cut it out. Okay. What's going on, people? My name is Tim Black. Welcome back to the Tim Black Show. What's cracking? Yo. Thing lit up like a Christmas tree. Is that right? I don't know if that's right or not, man. What's going on with that? Okay, that's good. All right. All right, so what's up, people? How y'all doing? Welcome back to the Tim Black Show. I got my moderators in the building, I think. I don't know. They might be here. They could be. What's going on? Black Mamba, Ebony, Buck Bewley in the building. Thank you.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
Yeah.
Look.
Man, okay. Hopefully I got some Wolfpack members in the building as well. A few Wolfpack people may have came through. Maybe coming through. We don't know. We'll see. We'll see who comes through tonight. We don't know what we're going to, we don't know how many people are going to show up. We're snowed in. So people may be chilling, hibernating. That's what this time of year calls for hibernation. And we are in the building tonight. You guys okay? How's everyone? It's crazy. It's really getting crazy. Yeah, it's really getting crazy, family. It's I almost don't know what to say to some of these people, man. Yeah, some of these people losing their minds, baby. So I figured, what, I was gonna take the day, because it's nice. Me and Mrs. Black been chilling out. You know what I'm saying? And it's really been a good opportunity with the snowed-in atmosphere to just chill out. Escape all the nonsense and kind of get the hibernate on. You know what I'm saying? In fact, I told her last night, I said, I probably want to do a show tomorrow. Just to take more time, kind of laid back. But then today, while I was rehabbing a couple videos, doing my thing, right? I saw about this story with Alex Pretti. And I say, nah. Our brother has to come out of hibernation for this. I said, hey, I gotta show up now. I gotta make myself available. How can one be AWOL at a time like this? Right? So, here we go. Anybody unfamiliar with what I'm talking about? Let me get you up to speed real quick.
And we are seeing mounting fallout over the latest deadly shooting by federal agents in Minneapolis. This is video of the incident that appears to contradict government statements. NBC's Alice Barr explains what we know this morning.
This morning, a growing outcry over the shooting death of 37-year-old Alex Pretti by federal law enforcement in Minneapolis, the city's second involving federal law enforcement this month. As protesters react to the multiple videos capturing the scene, the Trump administration is defending the officers. The Department of Homeland Security posting that Pretti, quote, approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun.
When they tried to get him to disengage, he became aggressive and resisted them throughout that process. These officers used their training, followed their protocols, and were in fear of their lives.
The videos, shot from various angles, show federal agents shoving someone before Pretti steps in. Pretti is then pepper sprayed in the face by an officer while holding his phone and is then wrestled to the ground. DHS said he brandished a weapon, but the videos don't appear to show that. This one does show an agent appearing to remove a gun from Pretti's back waistband seconds before the shots are fired. Local officials say Pretti had a permit to carry, and groups like the Gun Owners of America are defending his right to bear arms while protesting as top Trump officials push back.
You cannot bring a firearm loaded with multiple magazines to any sort of protest that you want. It's that simple.
Pretti was an ICU nurse for a Minneapolis VA hospital, his parents calling him kind-hearted and deeply caring.
He loved his country, but he hated what people were doing to it.
President Trump overnight calling it a dangerous situation for everyone, demanded state and local officials cooperate with the administration's deportation efforts as those officials call on ICE to leave the state. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Yeah. So when I saw that clip, I said, well, you know what? I gotta come out here tonight because the whites are gonna need my help. Yeah, man, because I think they're stunned. That's 2 white people in a couple of weeks. They're used to that being black people that are shot down by cops. They may not know how to take this. All this equality going on. Well, you know, the right's been complaining that black people get preferential treatment. Turns out bullets don't discriminate. As I was looking at this, fam, I said, wow, this is, it's a lot of lying going on by the right now, and I think it's important to make something be known, and that is, we ain't defending them hoes. Nah, we not defending them hoes. Nah, won't do it. You know, I looked at the film, I didn't see any aggressive action by Pretti. None. It looks like an Alton Sterling situation. How many people remember Alton Sterling? Don't remember him? What? He was a brother someone said had a gun and he was selling CDs, and the cops were overly aggressive and they shot him in the chest about 4 or 5 times. 2016, you had to remember it. Oh, that's right, he was black. Not a real reason for the people that are out in the streets for ICE to really be out in the streets. You know what I'm saying? What I'm trying to say is this is nothing new. And that's why it's incredibly insulting, man, when we got these people talking as if they just saw Bigfoot come back to life, or, I don't know, they just discovered a leprechaun. We've been seeing this. I've been seeing this. I've been seeing this for well over a decade, fam. I've been talking about this type of shit for so long, I got tired of talking about it, went to rehab and came back. And here we go again. And I got people that are not 15 or 7, not 21, not 25, just, you know, kind of green. We got grown-ass adults surprised. Oh, it's disgusting. That just goes to show you how much we have different Americans. Because that could be covering something to the point where, you know, it's becoming a detrimental mentally, and you could be oblivious to this shit. Until it's, you know. But I gotta hand it to the white folks. You know, rest in peace, Renee Good and Alex Pretti. Pretti. Well, I want to call him Pretti. Pretti. It is not missed on me that, now, it's going to sound fucked up, but that's okay. That when the white people start getting killed protesting, it's over people that are white or light skinned or close to white, Latino, you know, Latina, I don't know. It just seems that way. And I know a lot of people are going to say that's petty. I'm just noticing it, man. I mean, family, it is what it is. This ain't much difference than John Crawford or Alton Sterling or Terrence Crutcher or I mean, to me, rights of beyond selling, it's really not that different. I mean, a lot of those people I just named didn't have guns and weren't behind the wheel of their cars that was people were saying were used as weapons. They were just weapons by being alive, being black and not being home in bed or something. I don't know. So I saw this. I said, you know what? It's going to be important for me to come out because we're going to have people that are going to be totally dismissive of this. And I don't think you should be. I think you should call a spade a spade. And the truth is, Alex, he wasn't being aggressive. In fact, he was helping a little white lady. A white lady they had pushed to the ground. He tries to help her up. He's trying to shield her from ICE, who's on her ass at the moment. You know, and that's when they turn their focus on him. So basically, he lost his life helping a white woman not be abused. He wasn't being aggressive at all. And this whole thing that what really pushed me over the cliff is when they say that he was brandishing a weapon. I mean, dude, no one could see it. No one knew he had it. They discovered it on him, sort of like Alton Sterling. Alton Sterling's gun was in his pocket. It never came out his pants. And they had to kill him because, you know, he had a gun on him. But, you know, he was selling CDs. He wasn't undocumented and he wasn't harassing cops. He was just selling CDs in front of a carryout or whatever. So anyway, liquor store. So here's the thing, fam. We're not going to pretend. And I guess I got to set some rules. And one of the rules is Black Americans should not pretend that what's happening is okay. It doesn't mean we go get into that shit. It just means we acknowledge, yeah, that's bad. Yeah, that's horrific. Yeah, this looks like murder. It's okay to say that. We don't need to downplay what's happening. Right? We don't need to give it any other any shield, don't give it any let's not pretend like what's happening is supposed to be the thing. Like it's justice. It's not justice. Like even if Renee Good situation, I mean, they didn't have to shoot her. It wasn't like that was mandatory. In fact, it'd be a lot better if they wouldn't have shot her, don't you think? So it's okay to say that. It doesn't mean I don't want deportations. So you can want people to be deported legally, peacefully as possible. You could want them to, I mean, that's my stance. So it's going to make their heads explode, right? Because the people on the left who don't like what I say, who call me a grifter because I'm making all this money, right? There's no way we could just have a different opinion about what I think helps Black Americans. First of all, we got to decide who we advocating for. You advocating for the whole world. That's a lot of people. I don't know how you do that because there are people with different interests, particularly in a capitalistic society. I mean, you can advocate for the rich, you advocate for the poor, or you advocate for the working class. I mean, you got to pick a group. So I chose to advocate primarily for Black Americans because we're at the bottom. And I think that's a travesty, and that's my choice. But let's not frame that as a grift, punk. But let's put it this way. I think it's important for us to call a thing a thing. Renee Good and Alex Pretti did not deserve to die because they were out there protesting. That's not crazy. That's not pandering. That's not kissing ass. That's stating what I believe. What is my stance? That's stating my stance based on the information I've seen. Okay? Just because it doesn't coincide with some other people's viewpoint doesn't mean that's not my stance. That's my stance. Gonna lose you over it? Fine. I feel you. Glad you watched as long as you did. But it doesn't help us, in my opinion, for me not to keep it real about how I feel about it. But nah, Alex Pretti was He had a gun on him, that's true. This whole thing where you can't have a gun on you and it have bullets in it, most people who carry have bullets in their guns. It's just like the Trump administration's all types of Barney, Rubble, Fred Flintstones. Worse than that, they're the bad news bears, man. They say shit. I expect, already that Bovino guy from Department of Homeland Security, DHS, they already demoted him and pulled his ass out. They sending in Tom Homan to de-escalate. You know shit's bad when they send that guy. Okay, here we go. Send this guy in? You know, that's when you know you suck. When Tom's got to come in and go down there and try to be the reasonable one. So yeah, I'm not gonna ride with the narratives. So yeah, I support deportations, but they got to be done legally. They should not be done like you're tormenting people, or it's a game and you're having fun at people's expense, and you're inflicting harm on people. These things are unnecessary. It's supposed to be professional. That's not what's happening. So yeah, that's the stance of this particular channel. And for the record, I think that more people, if you step back from it and look at it for what it is, you'll see, no cops' lives are in jeopardy. Renee Good could have ran over the cops. She didn't. She just didn't. It didn't even appear that she was trying to. Looked like she was trying to get away. That's why her car kept moving in the opposite direction after being shot. And Alex Pretti looks like he was just trying to help a woman who had fallen, and he was trying to help her up. It was ICE who overreacted in both instances. And in both instances, ICE put out these statements, J.D. Vance piled on, others piled on, and they're telling big-ass lies. That's it. But see, that's even back to the point of what's new, man. People talk like ICE is a new thing, man. It's even in the same name. You get the word, from the word police, you get ICE. But we got people that can't wrap their head around that this is the way cops been operating forever in our communities. And I like to tell you, my basic response to that is, welcome to the jungle. Because this is a little something of what we've been dealing with. No new thing, not new. Plain old America, not new America, not new America. Yeah, I sit back and hear these people like Charlemagne, oh, it's Nazi and fascism. I don't know who writes his monologues. I don't know who comes up with that bullshit. I know he's got paid a lot of money. That don't mean you're good at anything. Not really. Other than stiffing women's chairs and... I'm just saying, dog. The over-the-topness of the Democratic operatives, everybody see through it. It's not fooling anyone what they're doing. That's all I'm saying. It's just... Yeah, this... If you gave me... If I took the time, if I really took the time, I could probably name 20 shootings by cops that were just as egregious as Alex that you didn't talk about at all. And that leads me back to the point of this being a hyped up in order to stir up some nonsense. And that's all because it's elections, and you got nothing going into the midterms, and they got nothing to run on, so the Democrats are flat-footed, and this is the main thing Trump ran on. So you got strong suit meets weak suit, and that's where we are, right? So it's a perfect environment for the drama that we're seeing unfold right now. But that doesn't mean we can't be real when we look at it and we see what it is. We call it out. So as we calling it out, man, I'm looking through the channels. I'm seeing what people are talking about. I run across a couple little clips. I see this one. And I think this was the first one that said, Tim Black, man, we gotta say something. people might be inclined to listen to some of this shit. They might be influenced by it. So what?
Think that for this government, and they think that for this government, and they claimed he was brandishing a gun. He was brandishing a camera, as you said. He was brandishing a phone and taking video. Because this government does something that I'm not used to saying about a U.S. government. It lies to the citizens. It lies to the people.
Yeah, when you hear stuff like this, Democrats are trying their best to mimic the language of Black Americans and real, people speaking real truth and independent media, the ones that do that. There ain't that many of us, to be honest. Because independent media has become corporate media. I seen that happen. It was crazy. I remember when everybody was independent. Now everybody's independently corporate. Is what it is, because all the people that I came up with in independent media, at least the majority of them, all formed these big corporations, and now they're making multiple $1 million a year. And then when you look at them, that's the same thing reflected in their content. They're going to press conferences at the White House, if they're on the right, if they're on the left, they're all piled up and going on different podcasts. I mean, they're all fake. But then you look at something like Anna Navarro, you listen to her talk, and it's like, she just realized the government lies to us. I mean, fam, Democrats are still as phony as they've ever been. And I know she's not technically a Democrat, but like Bernie Sanders, she caucuses with him, she rocks with him, she might as well be. To say that Anna Navarro is a Republican, I don't know, man. That's like, that's like OJ said, he ain't black, he's OJ. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So yeah, I hear this horse shit, and I'm thinking, you got to come out here, you got to say something about this. I mean, this woman with a straight face is supposed to be hyperventilating over the murder of this nurse, this ICU nurse with no criminal history at all, who was just at a protest trying to help a woman and never even pulled his gun or touched it. In the view of the cameras anyway, it was in the back of his pants. And you could see the cops take the gun and leave the frame, and still they shoot the guy as if he still had it and was trying to pull it. I mean, it's just horrible, man. But this notion that Anna just figured out that the government lies, it means they're still on the same script. It's just so far Democrats are going to go. They're going to pretend to be outraged. But at the end of the day, they can only walk it so far up. So you're going to have people like Anna Navarro who won't go far enough, right? They go from, okay, good point, not brandishing, and then they'll say a big whopper like this that neuters everything they said previously. And then you got people like this. And this is really embarrassing because I remember talking to this guy. I didn't realize
it's time to shut this shit down, yo. It's time.
This full of shit. I mean, it's got to be tough when you get out of a job and then you got really nothing else you want to do. It was so good to you that you just want to get back to doing it. And you're willing to do whatever you got to do. If you got to pole dance, bust it open for the man or whatever, you're just willing to do whatever it is. I mean, I know that's graphic, but I'm saying, man, listen to the way this guy's talking, and then tell me if you think this is legitimately, this is real.
It's time to shut this shit down, yo. It's time to shut it down. This entire system. First, Renee.
What the fuck does that even mean? You understand what I'm saying? So you're going to have Democrats like this guy that's over the top. This doesn't really mean anything what he's saying. It's just loud talk. You can hear this type of talk at any protest. We need to shut the shit down. What about the babies and the kids and the grandparents and the grandparents and the people on Social Security and all the services they run? I don't know. Like, you got nothing for me after the first sentence. You got a couple of buzzwords you want to say that you think resonate with the people that you might need to get behind you. And that's it. So the Democrats are operating either from, you know, a position of so much need and want to get back or to resonate, to win over some favor with the base, that you're willing to say anything, man. It's like, it's the worst thing, man. Someone said, it's sort of like when hip-hop, when Kanye started doing the 808s and then everybody started doing 808s, it didn't even matter. It could have been a love ballad and it'd be an 808 and a fucking love ballad because that's what they knew was working in the industry at the time. You know what I'm saying? When everybody had to have a video vixen, it'd be a song about being a kid and for a childhood growing up, and they still have a video vixen in it for some strange reason, because that's what was selling at the moment. Well, that's the same thing that's happening now with these Democrats when it comes to dropping F-bombs, acting pissed off, and really there's no solution in it. We need to do something. We got to do something, motherfucker. And we're going to shut this shit down. We got to, you know, and it's just belligerent, wild, unhinged, cringe, dumb shit. That's it. That's all it is. It's reckless. Because Bowman's dumbass ain't going to get out there and get shot. They shooting white boys. But even if they go back, because they'll go back to shooting blacks, it ain't going to be Bowman. He ain't going to take his ass out there. Let's go see him go jump in front of some shit. Won't he go break up some fights? He got somebody somewhere. Going down Minneapolis to go get in the line of fire, Bowman. See what I'm saying? It's corny. So you hear this guy talking. We'll let him go a little further and embarrass himself.
Good now, Alex Pretti. Rest in peace to both of them. State-sanctioned lynching and murder is happening under this administration.
See that? State-sanctioned lynching and murder. Is that what happened? Did a couple people get shot? I think a couple people got shot, Johnson, by cops that are trigger happy. Like I said, I can name you all these instances of the same thing happening. It just was not covered as if it was the end of days. Until when? Until Democrats could use it to their advantage. That's when they started covering it. And that's what's happening right now. It's being used to their advantage. You know, and as bad as that is, it doesn't stop there. You know, he's not the only person who got the memo, want to be effective, want to make a dent, want to get in the office, want to stay in the office, go over the top, be a moron. Incite stupidity, call for unreasonable whatevers, call for extreme change. We need radical change. To what? So, you know. Let me have this. I don't know.
My mental state today after spending the weekend watching these videos over and over and over again is fragile, just because I always believed in the rule of law, right? I've dedicated my life.
You know, if you really believed in the rule of law, you wouldn't be working in law. Because our system is such shit. You would have to know how shitty our system is. You have to know, like there's no one, fam, there is no one that should be practicing law, particularly in the criminal system. We could say civil too, but I'm just going to go criminal. There's nobody who practices criminal law in any way, shape, or form in America that could possibly say they don't know how shitty our system is. For her to act like, oh my God, I just discovered the system may not be perfect. Oh, the system may even be corrupt. Oh, our system may be one-sided and biased. I mean, you are a prosecutor in this shit. You're a prosecutor in the system, and you mean to tell me you just now discovered in the year 2026 of our Lord that something might be rotten in our system to the point you can't sleep? Really? Wow. She's about to cite a statistic on her show. Maybe she's been watching us. She's about to talk about ICE detention deaths. If you're a fan of the Tim Black Show, you'll know I've covered this extensively. Haters of the show won't know what I cover. They don't know what I say. They don't know what I cite. But we talked about these ICE detentions. So, proving my point, here she goes.
To enforcing the rule of law, studying the law. When I was a prosecutor, I pledged to the Constitution, to uphold the Constitution, and to see the lawlessness by the United States government is something that is deeply disturbing.
Are you going to quit being a lawyer? Are you going to quit being a part of the system? Your talk is cheap. Are you going to quit? Are you going to quit at a protest? Are you done with this shit? Are you going to quit working with the two-party solution? Are you going to quit caping for Democrats? Are you going to quit feeding the propaganda machine? Is that what you're going to do? I'm just asking. Is that what you're going to do? You're not going to do anything except put on theatrics for your audience.
Not only did we see 2 unjustified killings.
Unjustified. Has that been determined in a court of law? As a lawyer, she would know that. No one's determined that yet. They haven't even been to trial. No one's even been indicted. How are they unjustified? How can a lawyer say it's unjustified? Don't make sense, right?
2 unlawful killings of 2 American citizens who were, by the way, watching out for their neighbor. Yeah. The bedrock of our...
Watching out for their neighbors, not complying with orders is what the cops are saying. That's what they're saying. I'm saying. That's what they're saying. Got to prove it in court.
Democracy is to watch out for thy neighbor, watch out for the community. And we see this happen in front of us, and the government, as you...
She don't know what the fuck she's talking about. That's not what people are put here to do. They're put here to, pursue happiness. Peace and happiness, the American dream and shit. No one's put here to be part-time cop, part-time filmer, or videographer, or whatever the hell Renee Good was doing. No one's put here to do that. And to break up shit between police and individuals, I mean, it's not like the cops were batoning down that white woman. All they did was push her out the way. She slipped and fell in the snow. They weren't going upside her head with billy clubs and beating her like a baby seal. He really didn't have to do it. I didn't say he had to do it. I didn't say it was a life and death situation. He was saving someone's life. No, he got involved because he wanted to, and that woman's fine. She would have been fine, or maybe not, because one white woman did die, and we know all things stop. Everything's got to come to a fucking end because a white woman got shot. So now, here come the white men running out. Got to do something now. Right? Because that can't be happening in America. This can't happen even if she is a lesbian. We got to get out here. It's unnecessary. It was senseless. All this shit is senseless. But Sonny here is acting like what took place wasn't avoidable on both sides. It was avoidable. All I'm saying is ICE, badly trained, bad execution, got to be a better way to do it. We need a new agency. We need to get rid of this shit. The PR is horrible. The PR is horrible. America first shouldn't mean you shoot Americans first. That's not what that should mean. I got a question. What's in the brochure, Johnson? This ain't working. Hold on, she gets to my favorite part. Let her get to my favorite part.
You said Anna lying to us. But there are also killings that ICE is committing that we don't get to see. 32 people in 2025 were killed during or died in ICE detention.
See, 25 was the number it was. See, 25, it went up 7. 25 people died in ICE detention. In 2025, 32 people died in ICE detention. And as we covered on this show, for anybody who missed it, I like to use Texas as a benchmark for how many American citizens die in U.S. prisons and penitentiaries every year. And I just used one state to make my point because Desmond Crockett kept citing all the ICE people that died and how it was a travesty and how it was setting a record. And then I pointed out in 2025, 180 Texans died in Texas prison. I never heard Jasmine Crockett talk about it, or Sonny Hostin talk about it, or Whoopi talk about it. Nobody on The View talked about the nearly 200 American citizens that died in Texas by itself. Every year, 6,000 to 10,000. They really can't narrow it down because there's no mandate that police or these prisons report when someone dies in their custody, right? So we're really not positive, but at the lowest conservative number I've seen is 6,000. But many entities would tell you that 10,000 is more likely the more accurate number, which tells us that the ratio of ICE detentions to American citizens dying in custody is 188 to 1, meaning for every 188 American citizens that die in penitentiaries or prisons around the country, one ICE detention person dies. And that does not have to be a homicide. It could be a slip and fall. It could be a medical emergency. It could be an overdose. It could be anything, okay? But Sonny, no context, and doesn't want to compare it to what's happened to American citizens, which brings me to a bigger point of view that I've been trying to stress that haters won't pay attention to, and people that are wrapped up into the propaganda of the mainstream media, is that our whole system is shit. And it's not to say people in ICE detention should die. They shouldn't die. Nobody should die in detention, right? They should be getting the best care. I remember a time when I thought that people went to jail, some of them just to get off the streets, to get 3 cots in the mail and get medical treatment. There was a rapper that said people used to go to jail just to get their teeth fixed. I remember that lyric from somebody. Could have been Coogee Rap or something, I don't know. Or Biggie, I don't know. But anyway, the point is, that ain't the case, right? So we have, in our system, we have bad system of incarceration, mass incarceration. Cops have always been overly aggressive to poor people. No accountability. And I guess it's a fearful thing when you think you are detached from it as a white American citizen, and then you realize you can get more than just a front row seat. You can become the primary target. Now, it doesn't hurt that Minnesota is a state that's highly white to begin with. That could have something to do with it. So don't get your head past your skis all together, right? Because it is about where it's happening. But she's not the only one. So I listen to Sonny. She goes on and on. No context, horrible reporting. Only people that don't know anything would be totally riled up about it. But I guess, if you didn't have the context that, hey, we lose people every day. Those people have families. Just because they're American don't mean they don't matter. It's sad when American citizens die too, Whoopi, Sonny. Speaking of Whoopi, what did Whoopi say? I think she lost her mind. I don't know if I have it here. She kind of went crazy. Anyway, here she goes.
They murdered a man. He is standing. They murdered a man. He is standing. He has his phone and he has a bottle of water. And they shot him 10 times.
That's not how it happened at all. If you watch the clip, that's not how it happened. They were tussling with him, Several officers were tussling with Alex before he was shot. Yeah, and that's not how it happened. He did have a gun on him, but they took it from him. So Whoopi doesn't. She probably even see the tape. I mean, she gets talking points and she just recites them. We can't expect Whoopi to take time to read shit before she says it. I mean, I'm a total asshole for even pointing out reality. And I still agree, if you got 6 cops and you got to shoot a guy, you can't put cuffs on a guy, you got 6 cops. I mean, y'all some punk-ass cops. Y'all some punk-ass, buster-ass cops if it's going to take you to have to shoot a guy a number of times. 10 times, you say? But come on, let's face it. After shot number 2, it was gonzo. He was in the upper room already. The rest was gratuitous. It was like, get a guy, what are you doing? But just Whoopi's over the top.
What the? I don't know what you're investigating if you're not investigating the straight up murder.
She said murder a couple times. I'm not going to say people don't get upset when black people get killed. I'm not going to float that because there's some people that get upset when black people get killed by cops. You know what I'm saying? Whoopi might get upset. So may Sonny. But be real, they probably get upset when these things happen. Here's my problem. Nothing changes. You don't get upset enough that anything changes and you go right on to the next show. You're not actually championing for anything to be done, except with ICE. Except with ICE. That's the only one, it seems like, you give a shit enough about that you want to fix because it's on the bingo card for the Democratic Party, and that's my point. Democrats need this to stick. And I feel they're complicit in the deaths. Because without this being on the news constantly, without it being amped up, hyped up, exaggerated, fed to us like it's the most trying thing of our times, I don't think those people would have been in the streets to that extent, and those people probably are alive today. Because they didn't affect change. They weren't literally saving anybody's life when they got killed. It's not like Renee Good was running into a building saving a baby. Come on, Johnson. They want to make her a pariah, like, oh, she said, I'm not mad at you, dude. Yeah, because he was filming her. And she wanted him to know she don't care if he filmed her. Because they had been filming them, and she had been filming ICE agents and annoying the shit out of them, her and her wife. And she was like shitting on him by saying, you can film me. I don't care, man. I ain't mad at you, dude. Film me if you want. Film me. It wasn't like your guys painted like it was Saint Renee, okay? She was being a dickhead. And doesn't mean she's supposed to get shot. It's just, it's just pathetic how far you got to reach. And then I know this dummy's watching going, oh, she was an angel. Why'd you do that? And it's like, that's not exactly how it happened. It's not exactly what happened. And then with Alex, he wasn't saving anybody either. I mean, they weren't piling on this woman. They weren't tasing her. They didn't have her at gunpoint. He wasn't saving anybody's life when he jumped in and did this to the officer, like gave him the elbow to shove him off the lady, away from the lady. You can't do shit like that. They should have just batoned him to the head like they do the brothers. That's what they would have done to us, either baton them or tased them. Why they didn't do that? The problem is they started tussling with him. They shouldn't have tussled with him. But anyway, but once again, it was like horrible police work, horrible escalation techniques. The non-lethal shit should have been done, and it wasn't done. That's all. If you're going to take a gun from a guy and then shoot him after you get the gun, I mean, it's an open and shut case, Johnson. It is what it is. But then you I go over here, fam. I go over here. I see this.
I am deeply concerned about the soul. I am deeply concerned about the soul of our country. I serve as pastor of Ebenezer Baptist Church, where Dr. King served, and I would remind your viewers that
whenever I hear shit like this, it's just the words. It's just the words they use are very, very off-putting. I don't know. It makes my stomach hurt to hear a black man say, I'm concerned about the soul of this country. This country has no soul, unless you're talking about our music. It's a soulless country. Slavery, Trail of Tears, we turned the Jews back in their boats when they were fleeing Nazi Germany. It was like, our name Bennett, we ain't in it. Shit like that. The Nazis came here and learned how to treat Jews by watching how we treated or how America treated black people. Same thing with South Africa's apartheid system. They came here and learned how to get down in South Africa. We were the blueprint. So when this guy, when this off-looking motherfucker tries to pretend that what he's seeing now is so appalling, it just makes me say, damn, I wish he never made it into the Senate. And I wish so many black folks did not feel that because he's a preacher, that means he means anything good for us. I mean, really. What the fuck does his stint at Ebenezer got anything to do with his ability to be a good representative or senator or a politician or advocate or whatever? But you know, it is what it is. So he's up here talking about the soul of America that he just discovered has problems. May not be as angelic as he once imagined, which is some of the stupidest shit for a grown-ass man to say out of their mouth. But to call it out makes me a sellout because you're not supposed to say it. You're supposed to pretend that that Warnock is amazing. Raphael Warnock's amazing orator. Please, motherfucker, I heard better speeches by niggas high after watching the Tyson fight or Deontay Wilder fight with their head tied off some Henny. He's garbage. But we can't say it because if you say it, you're a sellout, you're a cornball.
While Dr. King was focused on the issue of segregation as
get the fuck. So anyway, I mean, I just want to paint a picture of what we're dealing with here. You know, and that's to be, you know, and don't get it twisted. I mean, I saw this guy, I hadn't seen him in a while. I was like, wow. Let's see what Van Jones has to say. He's been quiet. He's been keeping his nose clean. What up? What's that playing? Oh, fuck it. Maybe nothing, Johnson. Maybe we'll find it later. I don't know. It's not playing. It's okay. I hope the other one's not empty, but I don't think we're missing anything with that. How about Kevin on?
Talking about ICE killing American citizens. Somebody commented, stick to comedy, don't get involved in U.S. I was talking about ICE killing American citizens. Somebody commented, stick to comedy, don't get involved in U.S. politics, just don't. As a black man in America, I can't afford to not get involved in U.S. politics. U.S. politics are deadly, especially for black people. But I'm going to stick to comedy. Here's a joke. Here's something I find funny. A lot of white people co-opted the term stay woke so quickly, they didn't listen to what it meant. Okay, black folks been telling each other to stay woke, to keep you safe, to be aware that the government will kill you and then blame you, that it'll be your fault before you have a chance to defend yourself. You'll be the victim and the villain. Then the villain. Okay, be aware what's happening. The system is designed to oppress and kill you. But y'all just wanted less black people and less gay stuff on TV and movies. So you didn't listen. Now you're finding out what stay woke means. Because we saw Alex Pretti get murdered for protecting a woman. And then, before they told the truth, listen to what the DHS commander's man said.
During this operation, an individual approached U.S. Border Patrol agents with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. The agents attempted to disarm the individual, but he violently resisted.
We see the video. They didn't even know he had a gun until they flipped him over and beat the crap out of him and pistol whipped him. Then they took the gun off of him and shot him in the back 10 times. But they told you, the American people, that he walked up to them with a gun. Stay woke.
No, he did walk up. He had a gun on him. They didn't say he had the gun out, Kev. They said he had a gun on him when he walked up. He did have a gun on him. They didn't know he had a gun on him, but he did approach them with a gun. It's just the language. You know what I'm saying? But he did have a gun on his body. He did interact with cops with a gun on him. Should they have shot him? Fuck no. But why are you sounding like you're telling jokes? They're all right. You should be talking about this shit, man. I mean, Only because I don't think you really, I don't know. Hey, man, I ain't gatekeeping. Talk about whatever you want to talk about. I'm just saying. I don't think, I don't know. Now I know why people tell me not to mix comedy in my reporting sometimes, because it comes across like you don't give a shit.
You see how you didn't? But when we told y'all about Philando Castile and Sandra Bland and Mike Brown and Trayvon Martin.
You tell us about him, Kevin, because you were somebody who like didn't understand like a lot of this shit. Like a year ago, he must have took a crash course.
And the list goes on and on, all the way back to Emmett Till and generations before. We've known about this. Our parents passed it down to us so we don't die. I passed it down to my kids. Y'all finding out that the system.
What you pass down to him, Kevin? Listen to cops, 10 and 2, no sudden movements. Did you pass down to cops that you should jump in front of cops and give them the elbow? No. That's what Alex did. Stop talking, Kevin, because you did not pack. Kevin, you would have told your son would have had no business trying to defend somebody he don't know by jumping in between that person and cops. And he got a gun on him too? I don't think you would tell your son to do that. And you wouldn't tell your daughter, if the cops say get out the car, stop the car, get out the car, you wouldn't tell her to try to drive off. Would you, Kevin? See what I'm saying? And that's what Renee did. But you're saying she got murdered. I'm not saying they got murdered. I'm saying they got shot. They got shot. Alex got shot. Renee got shot. And those people telling you to not talk about it are right. Because I could pick this shit apart you're saying pretty quick. Right? And I'm not saying these people won't, like this would be a civil suit and maybe a wrongful death. You know what I'm saying? But they're not going to go to jail for this. None of these cops are going to go to jail for what they did, Kevin. Because everything they did, they're going to get qualified immunity behind this shit. That's why I've been supporting the movement to end qualified immunity for about 7, 8 years now. And most people watching this show don't even know anything about the organization or that it's nonpartisan, right? That we've been on this shit for years. But I'm not going to blame Kevin for it, man. Good luck to you. You know? It's just, it gets annoying. Few talking points, a few things to say, but at the end of the day, like, what are people saying? Is that my last one? Yeah. Yeah, we don't need Van. Van didn't really say anything anyway. So yeah, here's the thing, man. It's okay to say that Alex Pretti was shot by cops unlawfully, and that I'm sure there'll be a civil judgment to this. I mean, you can't justify what happened, right? I don't think anybody woke up today and said they're going to go kill Alex Pretti. I think what happened was an unfortunate event, but definitely was escalated by the police. I mean, like I said, if you got 5, 6 cops, you can't handle one guy, something's wrong. And he ain't throwing punches, and he's not running. It's crazy. So it's going to be a wrongful death suit at least. That doesn't help Alex a whole hell of a lot, right? So rest in peace to him, and my condolences to his family. Same thing with Renee Good. Same thing. Exact same thing. They didn't need to shoot that woman 3 times to make her stop her car. They didn't need her to stop her car that badly. She was not in the act of doing anything violent to anyone, right? She didn't have warrants. She wasn't trying to evade in that way. She just was leaving, you know. But like I say, I've seen this happen before, right? Here's my thing with the whole ICE situation and what's happening now. It's being elevated and escalated because Democrats need votes. And if you can't see through that, I don't know if I can help you, right? And also, here's the thing, you know, they're talking now about shutting down the government to say they're not going to fund DHS. They didn't have that same energy when they had an opportunity to let Biden do something when he was in office. Instead, he kept funding ICE. In fact, he escalated the funding for ICE. Biden did that. Biden increased when he was getting to the end of his term. Biden went from $8 billion a year to $10 billion a year in ICE funding. And then he ramped up, on his way out the door, he ramped up the deportations. No one talks about that. It's just that he had already let in so many motherfuckers that him amping up the deportations that were gone unreported by mainstream media, by the way. In fact, what's that number? He went from 15,000 people a day. Biden went from 15,000 people a day being held in detention from 2021 to 2023. In 2024, he took the number to 41,000. He tripled the number of people in detention. No one talks about it because nobody wants to keep it real. You can watch Don Lemon, Joy Reid, and Abby Phillip, and none of them will say what I just told you because it's not part of the narrative that they once spoken about. When the Democrats were in power, when they could have changed this shit, they didn't change it. They were fine with things staying the same. They were fine with it. Trump comes in, cuts the shit on max volume, rolls down the windows, opens the fucking sunroof, and blares the shit out the windows. But the machinery itself was fully running and operational and being funded under Biden as well. You can't tell me it's the devil only when Trump's there, but when Biden or when a Democrat's in office, all of a sudden it's a kinder, gentler system. Man, when people are getting deported, I got to imagine the tears are real no matter who's the president. The only time he gave a shit is when it was under Trump. That doesn't mean it's good the way it's being conducted. In fact, it's not good the way it's being conducted. It's being conducted badly. But if it was conducted badly under Obama, you wouldn't even fucking know it because nobody will report it because none of the people that are talking now had the balls to say anything then. And if you think if Biden was in office, they would actually be telling you about it now, you think when Don was at CNN, he would have been blowing a whistle on Biden's administration? Fuck no. Don't be an idiot. It's propaganda, it's nonsense. The bottom line is this. Most of Americans are fine with people being deported, particularly those who committed crimes. Fine. And there's a large amount of Americans who want people to, even if you didn't commit a crime. Because they realize it drives down the cost of wages. Are there some of those people racist? Probably. Guess what? They be here racist regardless if we deported undocumented people or not. They still live here. We ain't deporting those people. They're part of the fabric of what makes America great. So anyway, this America First rhetoric got to change because it doesn't make sense because it looks like America First means first to get shot are Americans, and that's horrible. That's not a selling point. That's not a good thing. That's not going in the brand, museum for the best brands, selling brands of the century. Black folks have historically been the people that get the first seat, the front row seats to the injustice. And now we got to scoot over, make way for our, looks like our LGBT family and friends. They want to get some of the action too. Always got to cut in on a good thing, don't you? Well, look, there's room for us all. And all that being said, I still don't think it makes sense for us to get involved in this bullshit. The bottom line is, we told you immigrants. We've been telling you, we kept telling you, you don't watch our BET movies? You know what, immigrants? You need to go watch more black movies. Yeah, you should have been watching more black American movies. We've been highlighting everything from Snowball to School Days, that's School Days. What's that Spike Lee joint? Yeah, Do the Right Thing. Man, we've been highlighting this shit. We've been highlighting what's going on with cops and with racism and all this shit in the country for many years. I mean, you immigrants needed to be watching some of our content instead of just assuming, adopting our dress and our vernacular and then blending in with white America. You need to be watching the shit we was talking about. Because then maybe you would have made an informed decision that coming over here to make a couple more dollars an hour or maybe a lot more dollars an hour might not be worth it. Maybe it would be better to go to Canada. Because America going to America. And this ain't new. Nothing worse in the world for people to show up and act like what you've been going through is a new thing because they just started experiencing it. Now, it's been real for a while. It's been real for a long while. I damn near had PTSD from covering this shit week in and week out. I stopped covering it. It's like I was living amongst the dead covering this shit. And now you woke up? Well, congratulations. Now you cover it. Now you be the face of it. Maybe now it'll change. Yeah, let some white men and white women be the bullet catchers for a while. We'll see how quickly things mobilize. Shit. They sitting home and down. Trump is distancing himself from it. Yeah, it's about to get real in the field. I predicted this latest shooting is going to be the downfall of ICE. But I called this from day one. I said, look, all it's going to take is for ICE to do a couple wrongful shootings, and they will have set themselves up for self-destruction. I can hear Chaos One now. You're headed for self-destruction. I knew it was coming, Johnson. But I got to admit, you got me, because I thought it was going to be in a black city like, I don't know, Chicago or D.C. or Memphis. I had no idea it was going to get crazy and start shooting white boys and white women in Minnesota, Minneapolis. Jesus. I don't know what it is. I think maybe ICE. I mean, they did kill one brother. One off-duty ICE member did kill a black man out in Los Angeles by the name of Keith Porter. So that's horrific. It doesn't get enough coverage at all. But yeah, I just want to send an SOS to my people. You know, my SOS to my black Americans in content and other, and also in the comment section, you know. We got to call a thing a thing. So let's call this out for what it is. I mean, these fuckers don't even have body cameras, Johnson. Come on, Johnson. Like, you know, come on. They don't even have body cameras, dog. They be interacting like hell with people with no body cameras. Luckily, there's a lot of footage out there. I just wish there was some footage for Brother Porter. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't, I don't know. Just the cops, the ICE guy saying, the ICE agent saying Porter shot three times at him. I'm like, why would he do that on New Year's? What was this? I didn't know he was an activist. Why would he shoot at you? You sure he wasn't shooting at the sky on New Year's like everybody else? Anyway. You know, it's not about race. I know that's crazy for me to say, right? This ain't about race. This is about power. And power executing, exacting power, using it against the citizens. That's what they're doing. And these citizens, they're in a bad position because many of them are not used to, they haven't accepted that cops will kill you. And they're finding out the hard way that that can be what happens. Doesn't mean it's right. Doesn't mean it's cool. It's not cool. It's the opposite of cool. It's the opposite of right. But they will get away with it because they always do. Because it's very hard to find a jury that's going to convict cops who could say, hey, I felt afraid, and that's it. And the fact that they pulled one gun off the guy, they could have thought he had another one. All they got to say is they saw him reaching. Family, I've seen some horrific footage of cops just saying, I see a gun, and the guy's like, I got no gun, I got nothing. No, hold on. Pop, 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 pop. Happens all the time, Johnson. I mean, welcome to reality. This literally happens, and it's been happening. ICE is police. Police is ICE. What part of the press conference don't you get? But I just want us to recognize it's bad, it's unjust, and we don't defend this type of shit. We don't defend people getting their lives taken by the state. We don't become a part of what we hate. Right? That makes us no better than the scumbags we can't stand, right? So we ain't got to do that. We ain't got to do that. All right, man, that's it. I mean, how you gonna send cops out here? Anybody deported into your state without a body cam that's doing police work? Get the fuck out of here, man. No accountability? Let's go to comments section, man. Anybody in the building, fam? NBC said they did have on body cameras. I didn't see any body cam footage, family. None. Maybe they didn't release it yet. Yeah, Ice Popo, yeah, these people talking like ICE and cops are different species. No, motherfuckers are tigers, leopards, lions, and the cat family, Johnson. It's part of the same thing. They keep talking like it's a unique breed, like it's an extraterrestrial. It's not ET, motherfucker. It's cops. I mean, it's bad, you know. I don't know. Black Rose says, where were the Minnesota police? Sound like the Minnesota police have decided to stand down. Not doing the actual police work or something. I don't know, man. There's some, I don't get it. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know. Good question. Yeah, sanctuary cities. And yeah, I support deportations. But you don't have to kill people to get that executed, right? You don't have to do that. I mean, they weren't deporting anybody at this time. So what is this? And filming the cops should not come with a death sentence. That's all. Filming, that's what he had was a phone, right? A phone. Now, it was a black phone. Could you think it was a gun? Because someone said gun, and then they see his hand moving towards with something in it. Could be. So it's going to be, they're going to be able to wiggle their asses out of this. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a wrongful death suit. But once a cop says gun, and another cop is there, I mean, come on, Johnson, you might as well say and shoot. The word gun and shoot are the same thing. Shoot him. That's what that term means. Gun, gun, gun. That means shoot, shoot, shoot. That's what it means. And it's been that way for a long time, baby. I'm sorry if you just woke up and you've been in a coma for 10 years or 20 years of your life and you came here from another country, just got here. You didn't know that's how America gets down. You thought it was all baseball, basketball, football, Hollywood, video games, Netflix, right? You thought it was all Philly steak and cheese steaks, and Wild Wings, motherfucker. No, guns, baby. I got guns, baby, and they stay on safety. When shit get crazy, got a trusty 380. It'll back off quicker than Zoloft. All right, baby, that's it. I want to thank everybody for tuning into the show tonight. My name is Tim Black. You're tuning into the most dangerous show in America. It's dangerous, not in an ice kind of way, but in a truth teller kind of way. We do our business here, and our business is not to cape for any party. I hope today that we lived up to that credo. Both parties suck, Johnson. We don't defend any parties. We don't defend politicians. Them days is way behind us. You know, once upon a time, we were green. We didn't figure the game out. We thought, you know what? I like to believe that at a certain time, people were different. There was different time. Nothing stays the same, right? Things change, We had to change with the times. We're working on building some big things here at the Tim Black Show, so I hope you guys will be a part of it by going to jointimblack.com. Become a member of the show. And tell a friend about the show. It's important to spread the word. Tim Black's Wolfpack are my VIP members. They come here, they support, they join our chat. The only $5 a month is the cost, and they think it's worth it, and I appreciate them. Thank you for supporting the Tim Black Show. Stay tuned for more exclusive content for my VIP members. I love you. Got nothing but love for y'all. Be straight, be safe, and I'll see you guys Wednesday and then Friday for more of the Tim Black Show. I mean, be safe out there, man. That ice is no joke. And I don't mean the ice this time. I'm talking about the actual weather ice. That shit's crazy, right? We've been having sleet here in Maryland, so I know it's all frozen. Well below zero here in the DMV, fam. So all my DMV heads, be safe out this joint. I don't want to hear any bad reports, man. I can't lose any of my people, man. We gotta stay together. All right, y'all. Be safe now. Thank y'all. Now remember, don't let anybody take your cornbread. That's your cornbread. Keep your cornbread, baby. All right. Now remember, it's important that you stay courageous, bold, and most of all, stay dangerous. All right, stay dangerous. Now, everybody has reasons for doing what they do. Here goes some of my reasons. Oh gosh. I'm not even going to go there. Y'all have a good evening. Let's keep it positive.